Welcome to Beyond Hormones, the Business of Wellness, the podcast for hormone and functional medicine providers who want a thriving, predictably profitable practice and maybe a little less stress along the way. Hi, I'm your host, Jody Lane, and I've worked with lots of clinics in marketing, sales, and business development, and I have seen what works and what doesn't. And here's what I believe. Hormone and wellness care should be available to everyone who wants it. And while providers know the medicine, many struggle with the business side of their cash practice. And that's where I come in. See, this podcast is here to share real strategies, real stories, things you can implement in your practice right away. So I am so glad you're here. Come on, let's go. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Beyond Hormones, the Business of Wellness podcast. I'm Jody, and this is your Thursday Fiver. We are done with our Clinic Accelerator series, so we're back to our 5-minute episodes where we give you practical and tactical advice on how to run your clinic smarter. And today we're talking about onboarding. And I know you might be thinking to yourself, Jody, I barely have time to do the hiring, let alone think about what happens after. And I get it, but here is something that many clinic owners and practice managers don't consider. Hiring is not the finish line. It's actually just the starting point. And here is what I see these same clinic owners and managers don't realize until it's too late. Most employees who quit do so in the first 90 days. Not because they were the wrong hire. Well, okay, maybe some of them were. But it's because nobody set them up to succeed. The new employee walks in, feels uncomfortable. After a while, they become unsure. Maybe they think they can't even do the job. Not because they don't have the intelligence or the talent to do it, but because they've been left alone to figure out the job. They get frustrated, and good employees are going to move on. And when that happens, you don't just lose time and money. You risk losing patient trust, team momentum, and not to mention your own sanity. So let's talk about what actually works. You ready? So here is the biggest mistake I see clinic owners make. It's treating day one like it's pre-onboarding. By the time somebody new walks through your door, they should already feel expected, welcomed, and set up. That means you have already created their logins. Their workspace is ready. Their first week has a schedule to follow. Because nothing kills momentum faster than a new hire spending on day one watching you scramble to get their email set up, their EMR login, all that stuff. Look, send a welcome message before they arrive. Share your clinic's values early, and if possible, pair them with a buddy on day one, someone they can shadow and ask questions with, maybe even go to lunch with, and they won't have to bother you for every little thing. That's how you start to bring culture into your onboarding process. Now, here's something I love about a well-built 30, 60, 90 plan. And once you create it, you can use it every single time you hire somebody in that department. It becomes a repeatable system that doesn't depend on you being the entire process. Here's how you want to think about it. The first 30 days, they learn. They're absorbing your culture, your systems, how patients move through your clinic, the paperwork they need to fill out, all of that. Don't expect them to own anything in the first 30 days. Give them room to observe and learn. Now, the next 30 days, they practice. They're still guided, but now they're doing the work. So if you hired front desk support, they're checking in patients, they're answering phones, they're doing the scheduling because they've learned how to do it, but they've got somebody nearby. Now, by day 90, they own it. They're contributing independently. They could be still asking questions, but it's not every 5 minutes. That's the goal. And here's the key. Make every goal in their plan SMART. SMART stands for strategic, measurable, actionable, relevant, and timely. So for tasks, don't say things like, go learn the EMR. That's really vague. Instead, complete EMR training and accurately enter 3 patient encounters by the end of week 2. You see, specific goals make onboarding measurable and take the guesswork out for both of you. For all you longtime listeners, you know how much I love working in the hormone clinic space. And I want every one of you to have the best clinic possible. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to pause this podcast for just one quick second and share quickly about a product of ours that I think is going to make a real difference for you. And it's called Practice Automation System. Now, first, I want to share something that I had to learn the hard way. If you're struggling to get patients, your marketing probably isn't the problem. It's what happens between when someone raises their hand interested and actually gets someone on the phone. That's where the problem lies. That's where most clinics are losing money and they don't even know it. Does this sound familiar? A lead fills out your form. Your front desk is busy taking care of patients, so they get back to them in a few hours, or maybe the next day. They call the lead once. They don't pick up, so they leave a voicemail and they move on. The person never calls back, the lead goes cold, and your ad spend just vanishes into thin air. Practice Automation System is the solution that we built to solve this exact issue. Within 5 minutes of someone filling out a form, the lead gets a text. They get nurtured by email for as long as it takes, and your team gets assigned follow-up tasks based on how much time has gone by so that they never let anything fall through the cracks. We have used this foundation of this system inside my own clinic, where we grew to over 1,000 patients, 4 providers, and 23 staff members in just 7 years. So you know what? We know this works because we've used it ourselves and we have helped clinics all over the country roll it out too. To find out if Practice Automation System is the right fit for your clinic, just go to acceleratedmedicalpractices.com/automation. That's acceleratedmedicalpractices.com/automation. All right, let's get back to the show. Now, this is the part nobody tells you. It's how onboarding looks. It's different depending upon where your clinic is in its growth. So if you're hiring the very first person, you are in survival mode. They shadow you. You teach in the moment. And this is critical. You want to document that process as you go because those notes become the foundation for every future hire. And if you've got a small team of 5, well, you can't carry all of it yourself anymore. Start leaning on your SOPs, your standard operating procedures, and do checklists. Delegate parts of the training, but stay involved through scheduled check-ins so nothing slips through the cracks. And once you have a large team, well, now you can build something real. A whole orientation week, role-specific training tracks, even video content so you're not repeating yourself over and over. One of my favorite moves at this stage, feedback surveys after onboarding is complete. Your new hires will spot gaps in your process that you just can't see anymore because you're way too close to it. Look, no matter what role you're hiring for, there is a non-negotiable foundation of training every single person on your team needs. There's compliance, HIPAA, OSHA, anything state specific for your practice. This is not optional, so get that stuff in first. Then there's your systems, your EMR, your CRM system, your communication tools. This is the technical background of their day. They need to know it. There's your processes, how your patients flow through your clinic, what check-in and check-out looks like, what to do when something goes sideways is very important. And here's one that I personally would never, ever skip in a hormone clinic. It's basic HRT foundational training, even for non-clinical staff. Look, every person on your team should understand what patients are going through, no matter how old they are. They should know the treatments that we offer, the language that we use. It builds better patient experiences and stronger team culture. And finally, there is culture and expectations. Share your values, your communication norms, what professionalism looks like in your specific practice. That part is on you to live out every single day. Here's how I want you to think about this. See, onboarding isn't a project you just check off on your to-do list. It's a system that should get sharper every time you use it. After every new hire, take their feedback and your own observations and your staff's as well and improve the process immediately. Don't wait for the next hire to fix what you already know isn't working. Track the right things as SMART goals. See if they're being hit. Do your check-ins. What do your check-ins reveal? What does the new hire say at their 90-day review? All of that information is how you make a better onboarding process. The clinics that I've watched grow fastest aren't the ones with the best hiring instincts or all the experience in the world. They're the ones that build a process so good, the right people couldn't help but thrive inside it. If you want help building that process, the 30, 60, and 90-day plans, the role specific training, even the compliance pieces, that's exactly what we have available for you here at Accelerated Medical Practices. So don't be afraid to reach out and ask for some guidance and some help. All right, that is your Thursday Fiver for this week. If this was useful, do me a favor, share it with a colleague, another provider, another clinic owner, or someone on your team that needs to know how to do onboarding the right way. And on Monday, we have another provider sharing her story, telling about how she built her practice from absolutely nothing to the success that it is today, almost reaching $1 million. So if you are interested in figuring out how to get your practice to $1 million, then join me on Monday to hear that story. Thanks, guys, for being here with me. I'll see you soon. Thank you for listening to Beyond Hormones, the business of wellness. I hope that you're walking away with fresh ideas and real strategies you can use to grow your practice with profit and purpose. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow the show so you never miss a conversation. And if something you heard today resonated with you, do me a favor, share this episode with a friend or a colleague. It's one of the best ways you can support the show, and it might be exactly what they need to hear right now. If you want even more tools and support, go ahead and head over to acceleratedmedicalpractices.com. Until next time, keep doing the work that matters. Your patients need you, and I am cheering you along every step of the way.